Let's talk about who you're marketing to. Hey there, I'm Mark Scott. Thanks for checking out another voiceover tip. Every week I try and put a new video in this YouTube channel giving you actionable, practical advice that you can put to work in your voiceover business to help you become a better and more efficient marketer. Never want to miss one of these tips? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let your friends know about it too. I'd love it if you shared it on social media, and flip me a comment. Let me know what you think about the tip and whether or not it's helpful for you and your business. Also, don't forget to check out the podcast, the Everyday VOpreneur podcast, available wherever fine podcasts are given away for free or at VOpreneur.com. So this week I want to talk to you about who you're marketing to. Most of the time we try to figure out what job titles are the relevant job titles for us to market to. And there are certain instances where it seems pretty obvious. Like if you want to work with companies that are creating corporate videos or explainer videos, things of that nature, you're probably going to be reaching out to a video producer. That's easy enough to figure out. Where it gets a little bit more tricky and there's a little bit more nuance to it is where there are job titles that have a much broader meaning. So for example, in the e-learning space, it's generally assumed that you're going to be reaching out to instructional designers. And that's not specifically wrong, but it's not entirely right. And here's why. If you do a general broad search of instructional designer, you are going to find a wide gamut of instructional designers. There are going to be instructional designers that work in the e-learning space, specifically creating e-learning courses, but you're also going to find instructional designers who do instructor-led training. You're going to find instructional designers who work in school settings, and maybe they're working on developing course curriculum. You're going to find instructional designers who maybe you're doing like textbook creation or something of that nature. And so not all instructional designers are the right people for you to market to. And so in order for you to make the best use of your time and also to make a good impression when you're reaching out to people, you need to make sure that before you target a specific instructional designer with a marketing message for your voiceover services, that they're actually somebody that could benefit from your voiceover services. So just doing a broad sweeping search of the term instructional designer is probably a good way to set yourself up for failure. And especially if you were thinking about doing that with, say, a targeted ad on a platform like LinkedIn, for example. You can't just use that broad term because you're going to get your message in front of a lot of people who probably aren't going to use it. Another really good example of this is creative director. Well, where are there creative directors? There are creative directors everywhere. Go to a radio station, there's probably a creative director. Usually the people that are working on writing the copy for the commercials, but have absolutely nothing to do with actually hiring voice actors. You could go to a social media advertising agency, and there's creative directors, and they are responsible for working on the creative direction of ads for social media, which may not actually use voiceover. Magazines and print, there are a lot of creative directors, and they don't have anything to do with hiring voiceover. But you could go to a video production company, and the creative director might be the exact person that you need to talk to. Or you could go to an advertising agency, and the creative director might be the exact right person that you need to talk to. So once again, just doing a broad search of creative directors and targeting as many creative directors as possible, well, if you send enough of them, you're probably going to hit a few of the right ones. It's not the best approach because you're wasting your time and you're wasting the time of a lot of other people who really don't need your services. So the idea here is it's not just about trying to figure out what's the right job title to search for. It's about trying to figure out, does the person who holds this job title actually need me? And that's where you got to dive in a little bit deeper. Do a little bit more research. Check out the company website. Check out the LinkedIn profile. See what they do. See whether or not there's somebody who's creating e-learning courses or somebody who's creating textbooks, whether there's somebody who is a creative director for a magazine or somebody who's a creative director for an advertising agency. These things matter. It's going to help you to be so much more targeted in your marketing efforts, and the more targeted that you can be, the more efficient that you can be.